long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
So Roger Christian's interview with Star Wars Theory and yesterday's Sparrow Scoop, I think pretty much kind of confirms there's unusual activity at Lucasfilm. I had one dumb fuck proclaim to me that Jon Favreau's been gone since last summer. No, you fucking morons, he's not. How could he be gone if he's making a Mando and Grogu movie? Or did you fuckers even bother to look at the news? Jesus. Please, if you watch the black pills and believe all their dumbass bullshit and the lies they tell you, don't come on this channel, okay? This is a higher elevated level of thought beyond glue sniffing and crayons, okay? So, one of Kamran's subscribers found this on Fandom Wire. George Lucas wanted to explore the one thing neither original nor the prequel movies dared to, but I would say wanted to. That's because he wasn't thinking about it at the time. It's definitely something the sequels didn't look into. Plight of the Stormtroopers, he was thinking about the end of the Iraq War, and I'm looking at it going, it ended 2 years ago, so he's kind of early on that, but, and where they would go and how, and because when the Emperor's dead, it seems like they're disbanded. Now, we've got a disbanded, decentralized, imperial leftovers, right? And going on in what we've seen so far. And when I see that what they lack is a leader to rally around. Moff Gideon is not he's not a leader to rally around. A lot of them are not, and they need Grand Admiral Thrawn. So are we getting a flavor of the disbanded Stormtroopers, the disbanded Imperials? Okay, we'll call them that. Because it looks to me like we're actually at the point in Star Wars where we're getting that, with Luke at the Jedi, building his Jedi Academy, with the introduction of the client, played by Werner Herzog, with the introduction of ragtag groups of stormtroopers. Okay. What George wanted to do, apparently, was have them float in the underworld, which they're doing. That squeal was Kojak, by the way. I don't know why he does that. Anyway, they're in the underworld. We got a flavor of that with the client, Werner Herzog, hiring Din Djarin to find the child, Grogu. Okay, that's what's going on here, all right? These are not, they don't have a centralized power structure. And that makes them more of a guerrilla force. It makes them more of a loosely knit insurgent band, but it doesn't make them a centralized force. They can still be dangerous. They can still destabilize the New Republic in places, okay, which is what they're kind of doing, okay? When you watch the third season of Mandalorian, and you see the Doctor going through rehab and making, it's almost like Stormtrooper Anonymous he goes to and proclaims that he's not an Imperial supporter anymore. And that that is kind of a thing that they would do. It's kind of not unlike the denazification effort that the United States, France, and Britain did in Germany. Okay. I can't speak to what the Soviets did, but, there you go. How do I feel about this idea? It's better than the sequel trilogy. Okay. It's better than anything we got from Kathy.
Dad, when are you going to stop blighting the environment with this atrocity? My God, can't you see that it wants to die? Let it go.
Why didn't you tell me that's where Maris's money came from?
It's never easy. Maris's money?
Yeah. I mean, you told me that Maris's family money came from timber?
It did. It did come from timber.
Oh, that's what you really think?
Well, of course, it's true.
And that's what all of Maris's friends think, too? All those country club snobs who would kill for a good piece of dirt on someone?
What are you talking about? If her family money didn't come from timber, where did it come from? Urinal cakes?
I don't believe this. All these years,
The doyenne of Seattle's elite, looking down her nose at everyone in sight. She owes it all to this. She's managed to have her urinal cake and eat it, too. Hello, Marta. Like to speak to Maris. Oh, why not? Ah. She's in the final level of her guru's serenity training, the week-long vow of silence, day 6. No, Marta, that's all right. She doesn't have to come to the phone. Just give her this message. I've flushed out her family secret. Hello, Maris.
So, concentrating on bitter dead enders, and I would say looking at what Favreau and Filoni have come up with so far have been a bunch of bitter dead enders. Okay. And that's what we're seeing with the Imperial Remnant. It's very interesting to me that they're, like I said, they're a loosely confederated, almost guerrilla force. And they're now underground, which is what George talked about. And we saw that in the beginning of Mandalorian Season 1. Okay, they kind of are on the fringes now, waiting for something or someone to come to galvanize the legions, put all the legions together, unify everything, and go forth to fight the New Republic. Grand Admiral Thrawn is that leader. George did not have him in Clone Wars. This is actually Dave Filoni himself, probably at George's suggestion, because they do talk, adding him on there because you need an enemy. Okay, so let's go further. I want to talk a little bit about Anakin. While all this is going on, where's Anakin? What secret do the kids in the Jedi Temple that Luke is building discover? Is it part of Peridia? Is it have to do with Dad? Okay, why is Anakin in the Veil of the Force? What is his mission, right? Is he not the chosen one? Well, in Overlords, the first episode of the Mortis arc, he pretty much proves that he can balance the Force at the end of that. And the father says, you need to stay. I'm dying. I'm weak. I can't do this anymore. And Anakin is like, I can't. But here we are in the Veil of the Force, and there he is. Anakin Skywalker, hanging out, doing stuff, training Ahsoka one last time. What's he doing there? Okay, if we get Palpatine 2.0, what the fuck is Anakin doing there? There is no balance to the Force. He is the chosen one who brings balance to the Force. Okay? Everybody on the Black Pill blobs go crazy. They probably none of them have even seen it, Ahsoka. But he's there for a specific reason. Okay? So you got, in George's story, Luke is training Jedi, young Jedi, and one of the kids discovers a secret. Does the secret have something to do with Anakin? Does it have something to do with Mortis? Does it have something to do with Peridia actually existing? Okay? And Luke, of course, has the mission to take out what the Imperial remnant is. You see, when George talks about the stormtroopers and where they went, he's not just talking about them. He's talking about admirals with fleets who are not at Endor, okay? He's talking about Gideon, all right? And then what is calling Balin Skull? Okay? What is he being drawn to? Who is he being drawn to? We see him, he's looking out towards a beam of light coming off a peak. He's standing on a monolith, the arm of the Father, pointing to the beam of light. To the Father's left is the Son. To the Father's daughter, to the Father's right is the destroyed monolith of the daughter. Okay, she's beheaded. Or like half of her head is gone. Okay, this says the Force is out of balance, right? This says the Force is out of balance, okay? And when you look at it, who's calling? You know, look, my theory, and I know I'm right, the only one who wasn't killed by the dagger of Mortis is the Son. Anakin took him out with his lightsaber. But specifically needed to be the dagger of Mortis. Now, what I envision here going forward, if George is indeed making a Jedi Academy TV show, looking at the scripts, helping write the story, etc., he is probably helping incorporate the Mortis gods, Anakin being the chosen one, and his ideas into a wider story. This is something Jon Favreau would want to do. And again, Favreau hasn't gone anywhere. Okay, you dumb fucking assholes. Never come here and say that again. Okay? Stay over, kiss Gary's ass, and earn your nerdrotic knee pads and your Geeks and Gamers knee pads. But stay off of my channel if you cannot deal with actual facts and news. Because if he was gone, it would be in the news. They would put it out there. None of these people are addressing the fact that he's making a Mandalorian and Grogu movie. That movie does not exist for them. Okay, then we've got Doomcock making up shit about him leaving again. Of course, then he backtracks and says, no, it's just a rumor. By the way, let's get back to what I was talking about because it's more fun. So we've got what I think is going to happen is a very deep lore plot, subplot with Ahsoka, Anakin as the chosen one, taking over the role of the Father. And I don't know who taking over the role of the Son or being drawn to the Son to do the Son's bidding. And we've got Balin Skull on the Father's arm, right? You know, it could, for all we know, it could be the Aboleth jumping in. Okay? It could be, you know, you start thinking about it, and the deep lore can get pretty wild. But the main plot is going to be the Jedi Academy training up a new school of Jedi. And what does the student find? Okay, and how long will it take for the Imperial remnant to get defeated? Now, here's the deal. We've got Grand Admiral Thrawn at Dathomir with the Great Mothers, okay? What does that mean for galvanizing and uniting what's left of the Imperial remnant? That literally means that George, with his ideas of the stormtroopers, the Imperials going off into like wild space, western reaches, the Outer Rim, going into the underworld, and you get Grand Admiral Thrawn showing up. You give them a purpose and a reason to unite, okay? And you will have the Witches of Dathomir, what's left of them, helping. And this is a pretty big deal because you've got a good story that George has influenced, and there's stuff that we haven't thought of before. Okay, you get EU elements too. Okay, this is just my theory of where they're going. If you read the Fandom Wire article, I will put it in the description so you can read it. And we'll see where this goes. And Star Wars is in good hands now. Kathy Kennedy is not making a movie for Star Wars. She's producing Twisters. Okay, so anybody who thinks that can fuck themselves. This is Steph signing off. I'll see you around the galaxy.